Welcome to my notes on writing an equation from a graph in y equals x plus b. So when we wrote an equation in y equals mx, we knew that it was going to go through the origin, so all we had to do was find the slope. Well, when it's in y equals x plus b, it's not going to go through the origin, it's going to go through a y-intercept, and our slope is always going to be 1. So we need to find 2 points and find the slope. If the slope is 1, because it's not always going to be 1, the ones that we're doing this year, we're doing y equals x plus b. In the future, you're going to do y equals mx plus b, where the slope isn't always going to be 1 and you're going to have a y-intercept. But if the slope is 1, you can write y equals x. And then we need to circle the y-intercept on the graph. If the y-intercept is positive, the equation will be addition. So in other words, if it goes through a positive number, the equation is going to be y equals x plus something. If the y-intercept is negative, the equation will be subtraction. So in other words, it will be x minus something. So let's see how that looks. So let's look at the graphs here, and we're going to have to identify the slope and the y-intercept, and then we're going to put it together to write an equation. So it says, what is the slope? Okay. So I'm going to move this up here a little bit here. Okay. So it says, what is the slope? So we have to pick a point, and I can see it goes through here. So up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. Once I verify that it is up 1 over 1 all the way, I can write the slope as 1 over 1. When I simplify that, I get 1, so the slope is 1 whole. What is the y-intercept? It's where it crosses the y-axis, which is right here. Notice I circled -1, so the y-intercept is -1. Now I'm going to write the equation. So we write y equals x when the slope is 1, and if it goes through somewhere other than the origin, I'm going to have an ending. Since it went through -1, I'm going to write x minus 1. So the equation is y equals x minus 1. Let's look at example number 2. So we just find the slope. So up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. It looks like the slope is 1 all the way through. And I could go down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1. So the slope is 1 over 1, which equals 1 whole. The y-intercept, it crosses right here through the y-axis at +4. So now when we write the equation, we write y equals x because it has a slope of 1. And remember, we don't have to put the 1 in front of the x. We can, but we don't have to. And the ending is going to be +4 because it goes through a +4. So this is y equals x plus 4. And one thing I want to point out here is you can check this by plugging in your x values. So here's where x is 1, and 1 plus 4 is 5. 2 plus 4 is 6. 3 plus 4 is 7. 4 plus 4 is 8, and so on and so forth. Now, going back to this one, okay, if we plugged in 3, 3 minus 1 is 2. Look, the y is 2. 4 minus 1 is 3. The y is 3. And let's check one more here. 5 minus 1 is 4. Okay, so you can check to make sure your equation does work all the way through. All right, I'm going to have to fix the notes on this one, so just give me a brief second here. All right, and I'm going to move this up here. Okay, so we need to write the equation. We have to first identify what is the slope and the y-intercept, and then we are going to be able to write our equation. So, what is the slope? So we have to go rise over run. So I'm just going to pick 2 points, up 1, over 1, up 1, over 1. And we can, of course, go this way as well, down 1, over 1, down 1, over 1. And the slope is 1 all the way through. Because remember, 2 negatives makes a positive. So the slope is 1 over 1, which simplifies to 1 whole. And what is the y-intercept? That's where it crosses the y-axis at positive 6. So we know our equation is going to be an addition one. So we write y equals x because we had a slope of 1, and it goes through at positive 6, so it's x plus 6. Now let's double check. When x is 1, 1 plus 6 is 7. It looks like it's checking. And let's check when x is 2. So 2 plus 6 is in fact 8. So my equation, y equals x plus 6, does in fact work. And the last one, what is the slope? So we can up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. Yes, it is a slope of 1. So 1 over 1 equals 1. What is the y-intercept? It's where it crosses the y-axis at negative 4. So that's going to tell us it's a subtraction equation. And since the slope is 1, we're going to write y equals x minus 4. Because when the y-intercept is negative 4, it's a subtraction equation. Now let's verify the points here. So we can check when x is 4. So 4 minus 4 is 0. It does work. And let's see. Plug in 3 for x. 3 minus 4 is negative 1. And one more, 2 minus 4 is negative 2. So it does, in fact, check. So when you're writing equations, because when we do classwork later on, I'm going to put in y equals x plus b and y equals mx. Remember, if it goes through the origin, there's no ending. If it doesn't go through the origin like we learned today, then there will be an ending. If it's a positive y-intercept, it will be an addition equation. If it's a negative y-intercept, it will be a subtraction equation. That concludes our notes on writing an equation from a graph and y equals x plus b. I hope you have a great day.